Look at the closing moments of the 2026 World Cup final against Spain. Argentina finished with more fights started than actual shots on target, acting like sore losers the moment the whistle blew. For many spectators, this was the desired outcome. Across the globe, fans had spent the tournament praying for the downfall of the reigning champions, viewing their eventual defeat as a victory for the sport itself. This wasn't a localized reaction. The Argentine national team has become the primary villain of the modern game, drawing a level of universal disdain that dominates every footballing corner of the internet. Does this reputation come from a legitimate history of using the dark arts to win, or is the internet simply fueling a massive, coordinated smear campaign against a team that wins too often? Decades of verified, ruthless gamesmanship have collided with a modern era of digital distortion, creating a reputation that is part historical fact and part internet fiction. The roots of this reputation stretch back to the 1966 World Cup quarterfinals at Wembley Stadium, in a match so violent it changed how the world viewed South American football. After being sent off for violence of the tongue by a referee who didn't speak Spanish, Captain Antonio Rattín refused to leave for 8 minutes. When he finally walked off, he sat right on the red carpet reserved for the Queen before violently shaking the Union Jack flag. In 1978, the controversy turned toward potential corruption. To reach the final, Argentina needed to beat Peru by at least 4 goals. They won 6-0, a result so lopsided it immediately triggered accusations of a fix. The victory was overseen by the regime of General Jorge Rafael Videla, a military dictatorship that used the tournament to mask widespread human rights abuses. Rumors of grain shipments and financial deals with Peru remain unproven, but the political shadow over the trophy never faded. During the 1990 World Cup, Brazilian defender Branco claimed he felt dizzy and weak after drinking from a water bottle provided by the Argentine staff. Diego Maradona fueled the fire by jokingly admitting on television that the bottle held something extra. These documented events cemented a global belief that Argentina would willingly ignore the unwritten rules of sportsmanship if it promised a narrow path to victory. The current generation inherited this legacy of edge-of-the-rules play, and they lean into it. Leandro Paredes serves as the modern enforcer, known for flying into reckless challenges and famously blasting the ball directly into the Dutch bench during the 2022 quarterfinals. Then there is Emiliano Martinez, who has turned psychological warfare into an art form, using penalty mind games and relentless antics to torment opponents. Their collective style of play, a fierce, high-pressure approach, often forces officials to lower the threshold for bookings, allowing them to operate in a gray area where they consistently escape punishment for dirty play. For decades, the world pitied Argentina as tragic underdogs. That pity vanished the moment Lionel Scaloni transformed them into a ruthless machine. In just 3 years, they won the Copa America, the Finalissima, the World Cup, and a second consecutive Copa in 2024. They transitioned from victims of the game to the giants everyone wanted to topple. This illustrates the tall poppy syndrome, a sociological framework where a sharp rise in success triggers a corresponding drop in public sentiment. When a team grows more successful than its peers, the global audience begins craving its downfall, desperately waiting for a new champion. The Messi versus Ronaldo rivalry hypercharged this effect, turning every Argentine match into a toxic digital war, where any victory for Messi felt like a personal loss for millions of rival fans. This unprecedented run of trophies transformed the standard historical criticism of Argentina into a desperate, irrational hunger to see them destroyed by any means necessary. This desperation fueled a digital smear campaign where critics overanalyze every Argentine foul while ignoring factual officiating blunders that benefit other nations. While fans spent weeks debating subjective VAR calls that favored Argentina, there was almost total silence when England scored a ball after the ball hit an overhead cable, a clear error that should have stopped play. During the last World Cup, thousands of fans circulated a viral fake photo of Messi stepping on Jed Spence, an event that never actually took place, simply because the image confirmed their existing bias against the team. You can legitimately loathe specific players for their verified on-pitch aggression and psychological games. That is a fair reaction to a team that intentionally plays with a mean streak. But if your hatred is built on doctored photos, invented quotes, and a generic resentment of winners,
You aren't defending the spirit of football. You are simply a victim of internet propaganda.